life that you lead. But I want to say this, and this is my testimony. I say this very sincerely from the bottom of my heart. I thank the Lord for every minute, every hour I served. And as I said, it's the best time in my life. We were not, thank you. We were not the most, perfect or ideal group of people. But by God's grace, we were able to do much. And then I got to know the country in ways I never knew it before I went to public service. And enjoy and love my people more than I loved them before I came in, because I came to go into people's lives. You meet ordinary people and their experiences on a day-to-day basis. Some of them are heart-wrenching, others are, inspiring. But it's all in a day's work, and it's a very exciting opportunity to serve. And for those of you who were with us last night, I spent a lot of time telling you about some of those experiences and how great they are and so on. So, since independence, nearly 63 years now, we've had self-rule, we've had 3 administrations, actually 4. This is the 5th administration. And in addition to, peaceful transfer of power, we have been relatively stable, except for when we have had challenges such as we did in 2007, and when we have had, security challenges of one kind or the other. We are the anchor state in East Africa, and on the Horn of Africa, that's how we are perceived. We are the most influential and probably consequential environment within the Horn of Africa. Believe me when I say this to you, because of my exposure and travel, we are some of the hardest working people on the continent. And, we have one of the most educated populations. The reason why people choose us for investment and so on is the leverage we have is the human resource capacity that we have in our country. So by and large, because I always start by telling people that even when we have political contestations and challenges as a country and as a group of people, the last thing we can do is talk down our country, because our country is our only home on earth, and we have a patriotic duty and a citizenship responsibility to always ensure that we draw a line between country and the leaders or the administrations that will come and go and that will change from time to time. Our country, by and large, is okay. The fundamentals of our country, right from independence, are such that we could do even much better than we are doing right now, which I'm going to come to shortly. But I have to say this to you, and if I didn't, I will be lying to you. We have very fundamental challenges in our country right now. I, as somebody who has served before and served in a very sensitive responsibility, I hate to break it to you, but this is the truth. I think our country is very close to the cliff, and we are facing very, very serious challenges. When you see the level of violence in the country, when you see citizens hijacking a police vehicle and driving it around, the anger and pain and frustration down below is unprecedented. I have not seen it before. Those of you who have come from Kenya recently, you can bear me out on this. The population is angry, frustrated, and especially disappointed because of unfulfilled promises, constant piling of lie after lie, failure in critical sections of our society and our economy. The challenges we are facing now in the education sector, nearly chaotic. No one knows what's going to happen next. Capitation not going to schools. I am told, because I speak to a lot of principals these days, that the schools are going to close a bit early because of budgetary challenges and so on. All these are signs of state failure. But the one that worries me most, and the one that should worry you most, is one, that level of violence. And you are Kenyans, I'll be very candid with you. How Mungiki, how Sungusungu, and all these violent groups came up is they started, first of all, because the formal state failed, the informal state took over. So as a result of the violence and the recklessness that we have seen from the formal state, the vigilante industry is going to start growing. And if the vigilante industry grows, it means we are setting and moving to an element of anarchy. That happens when our leaders are making excuses, and saying, it is this tribe or that tribe. It is the Kikuyus who are trying to destroy government and so on. I said in public the other day when I was in Kiambu that, this has been essentially a history of excuses. In the first year of the administration, they said it's Uhuru and his administration that left us empty coffers, that didn't do anything and so on. Whole year. The following year, it was Raila and Asmio and the Luos who are bringing maandamano and causing problems. Whole year gone. The third year, it is ni Wakikuyu wanataka kuharibu serikali. The fourth year, it will be ni Wakisi na Wakamba na Waluya wanataka kuharibu serikali, and so on and so forth. That's why I said there's nothing wrong with our country, except that we elected through a democratic process incapable leaders who clearly, sometimes you wonder whether they had a plan to govern or they had a plan to do something else. Because if they had a plan to govern, we will not be in the state in which we are. And now, I want to answer the first question, Kathy, you asked. What would be the difference? I want to be absolutely frank with you. I am here and I am interested in running because I believe that I will offer better management and better coordination of government than what we are seeing. And why? I said the other day in a TV interview that after 10 years of service as a minister and the last 4 of them spent as coordinator of government activities, I understand government almost like the back of my hand. That what actually needs to be done, Kenyans are not looking for a government to cook 1 million chapatis for them. They are not looking for, Kenyans are not looking for a government to make the bed for them or raise the children for them. Or, the Kenyans are looking for a government that will do one thing. Just wake up in the morning, go put your ass on the chair and work. That's all. Do your work. And don't make excuses. When you're supposed to do the work, don't make excuses and say it's so and so, it's so and so. My commitment, and I've been telling fellow Kenyans that since I put my name on the ticket and I put my hand on this, I'm saying this, hold me to account. I will not make excuses. I will not shirk. I will not hide. I will not fudge. I will not bend from responsibility. I will face responsibility head on and do the right thing. And there's no problem, because you see in Kenya, you have a fantastic institution called the public service. The public service in Kenya has been the basis on which, as a country, we have stood. People go into the public service, they do a fantastic job. Many of them are very professional and very committed people who need, and that's my second point, Kathy, who need trust, leadership that they can trust. Because the trust deficit in the administration is uncoverable. The distance between what they say and the truth is uncoverable. That people need trustworthy leaders, people they can trust. That if they tell you this is going to happen, it is going to happen. That's why I don't want to spend so much time criticizing others. I would like to spend more time saying, in my view, we would like to have a trustworthy government. A government you can believe. A credible government. Whether it's foreign policy. Our country, Kenya, over the years has been known for 3 things: stability, reliability, and credibility. That what we tell you is credible as a government. The reason why we are an anchor state in the Horn of Africa and in East Africa is because our neighbors trust us. Over the years, they have trusted us. The largest UN office in the south is in Nairobi. We have very credible relations with the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees. How on earth can we be the ones arresting opposition leaders and returning them at night to their countries? These things are hurtful to our image as a country. They affect our citizens, especially those of you who live outside the country. If today you were a consultant, a Kenyan consultant in Khartoum, working for a UN agency, how would you be comfortable when that government probably thinks you are a citizen of a hostile country? And it is unnecessary, the things we need to do. So, Kathy, I think the difference would be, I am interested in, and I believe there are many people in Kenya who are looking forward to honest and trustworthy leaders, people they can believe and people they can trust. All of you wonderful people grew up in an environment where you know viongozi wa kitaifa, wakubwa wa serikali wakizungumza mahali pale waseme kuanzia mwaka ujao mpango wa elimu utakuwa namna hii. Kila mtu anaamini hakika hivyo ndivyo itakuwa. Lakini tuseme ukweli, leo watu wakisimama pale ahadi, tumepata ahadi kama maelfu sijui 15 na hakuna hata moja, nothing. In 2022, just before the elections, I was invited to a meeting by Archbishop Ole Sabit and the Anglican bishops. And I spoke to them in this video clip that has been doing rounds all over. The bishops asked me questions about, you know, the budget, saying 5 billion, 2 billion to see border, I don't know which billion is to who. They asked me, I said, these are lies. You're just being lied to. I said that 3 years ago. And Kenyans, it has come to pass. And I said, the Chief Justice invited us to a meeting in Naivasha of the National Council for Administration of Justice. Everybody was in the room, including judges of the Supreme Court and the DPP, the entire justice sector was there. Then I was asked, including the late Jebukati who attended the meeting, I was asked this question about money and campaign finance. And I said, you know, this wash business we are seeing here, some of these people doing well on the campaign trail are people who are on the Interpol list for wash and money laundering. If we are not careful as a country, we are going to launder into elective offices up to 40% of these characters. And we will pay a price for it. Today, my colleagues, those of you who are in the finance sector, you know we have been listed. 3 weeks ago, the EU also listed us as an insecure financial transaction environment. It has never happened since independence. And the reason why I was very surprised about that EU one is that we are the only country in East Africa on that list. I want to be diplomatically sensitive. Sitaki kuongea mambo mengine niseme unajua hata Burundi haiko huko. Ta Somalia haiko huko. Sisi tu ndio tuko huko kwa East Africa. Sisi ndio tumeandikwa hapo. Tunafanya ujeuri wa fedha pia tunafanya. So these are the issues. This is the reason why I would like to run for president, because I believe our country deserves and should get better. Our country deserves and should get better leadership.